Hello everyone, how are we doing today? Thank you so much for joining. This is Lena with Especially Made for Me, and we're going to be working on something different today. Just trying to come up with new ideas and different things to do, or how to I guess spoof off something we may already have that we may want to use for decoration. And I thought Mardi Gras is coming up. I know we did something for Valentine's and we did a football thing, and haven't done anything for Mardi Gras here on YouTube yet, this year at least. So I wanted to do something different. So excuse me, we're going to be using these wonderful little colorful stands with the Mardi Gras colors, and these are definitely very well on their own already, but I thought could add a bow, could add a little something to kind of, you know, do a little something different with it, so it won't be just something there. So that's what we're going to be working on today, just doing something different to kind of add to it without taking away from the beautiful thing that's already there. So, and I'll show you as we go along what we're going to come up with. So have some ideas. We're going to be using some tubing, by the way. We're going to use some mesh. We have a 10-inch 10-yard roll of mesh. Of course, we're not going to use all of that. And I've had, already have my purple one up on my roller. And then of course we have some green ribbon and gold ribbon and purple ribbon, because you know we got to have all the colors. So we're going to get started. So if you haven't already done so, or if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, thumbs up, and click on that bell. Doing the bell, clicking on that bell will send you the notifications for when we go live or upload a video or do a premiere. So that way you get those automatic notifications as we do that. Subscribing will just make it easier for it to be on your list, for our channel to be there. And of course, it helps our channel growth, which we definitely could use your help on. So do share the link of this tutorial, and as you watch different things, do share with your friends and families, and let them know to just join in when we're here live on Fridays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and also to watch other tutorials and share themselves. That'll help us with the growth of the channel. That's showing some love to us. So thank you in advance for doing that. So I'm going to change the view of our camera like we normally do, so you can see. I'm going to go ahead and move the keyboard out of the way. What I'm hoping we'll be doing, gonna need some wire as well, because you know I'm cuckoo like that. Thought I had my thicker one. Let's see, I'm getting an error here. Hopefully my hubby can hear. He can plug my laptop in. It's telling me my battery is running low. We definitely don't want to get disconnected. So let me see if I can. I was trying not to get up. He's coming, I hear him. Okay, move that out of the way. So we're going to be using also, and I thought I had these smaller ones that I wanted to use, of these styrofoam. Thank you. The styrofoam discs that you can get at the dollar store. I had a couple of smaller ones and I couldn't find them, and I thought, well, we can still use these and it'll just dress it up a little bit more. So this is what we're going to be using for a base. We're actually going to be putting our Mardi Gras stands on top of it and dressing up our discs. So that's the idea. So we'll see how it works. And then we're going to be doing curls with our mesh, and kind of go from there. So I'm going to change the camera, like I said before, so that you can see already. And we're going to need some wire. If you don't have, like I do, I couldn't find my floral pins, which is really what we should use for this project, but I couldn't find it, and I thought I really want to do this, so I'm going to come up with another way of doing it. So the idea of the floral pins, and I'm kind of playing with this here, and the reason why I said I wanted a thicker wire, the idea of the floral pins, they're kind of like almost like a stapler, but they're a little bit bigger, like not a stapler, a staple, but a little bit bigger. And then you actually use that to grab your material and you push it into the styrofoam. Just so it's, they call it a floral pin. So I couldn't find those, and I thought, well, maybe I can use wire to do that, just to kind of play around and see, because we could use staples, but I don't have big staples, so I don't think we can try to make that work, and I'll show you what I mean. So if we try to use regular size staples, it doesn't quite work with what we're going to do because they're so small, and it's not going to hold the mesh as much. Now it might if we can manage to get it through the holes, but it may not grab the whole, how should I say, bundle, I guess. If we want to grab a full bundle, if we have 2 different kinds of mesh and ribbons and so on, if you want to grab the full bundle to then put it onto your styrofoam, it may not work with regular staples. We can definitely try, just as an option. And I'm thinking going with wire might be best. So we'll see how that goes. We're just gonna have some fun trying to make this work. Move the mouse out of the way. Okay, so my thought, I'm gonna try to put this into focus again. Let's see if it doesn't. So my thought is to have this in the center, like so, and then we can dress up everything around on the top of this and also around here with our mesh and our ribbons to then make it more, to stand out more in that regard. So then that'll give us that much more of a base to where it's not so topsy-turvy, because on its own, I don't know if you can see it would kind of wobble. It kind of wobbles a little bit. So that was my thought behind that. And it does have a, see if I can turn it this way. It does have a screw and bolt down here to kind of keep it all together. So I thought we could glue this part right onto here, because with it being a little bit deep in here, this doesn't really touch the styrofoam. So we can't just put it on there. So I'm going to kind of mark where we're at. I might actually turn on my glue gun so it'll start warming up. That way we know which way to go. So we're going to move that a little bit out of the way. There we go. So we can see it's kind of moving there. Okay, so I'm going to start cutting our mesh, and I'm just going to be doing curls with this. And I should cut some of that purple. So we'll see here. I don't like the ones done with the tape on this side. Not with this kind of tape. It seems to grab the mesh more and then it tears it up. But we can just cut that piece. Or since we're doing curls, it might hide enough. We'll see. Get that back out of the way. I'm just running this under here. If you don't have a mesh roller, it is not an absolute necessary item to have, but it is definitely a nice to have. Before I got this, I used to use like a large trash bag or a box where the mesh would fit in, and just kind of have the mesh in there and let it roll on its own. So you could definitely do that. I'm gonna extend it a little bit more, and these I'm just gonna cut at 10 inches. And we're just gonna do curls with these. And I do have a 21" on the roller in red, in the purple that we're going to be using. And then we have our green tubing. So before I run out of space, let me go ahead and do some purple here. I'm going to go ahead and move this completely out of the way while we do the cutting, just to make sure I don't knock it over, because I know me. I might just do that. Okay, I think I made us enough room for now. Okay, and I'm doing the same with this, and it might seem a little bit funny for me to do 10" with a 21" roll of mesh. And I'm actually thinking, just to make it a little bit thicker, I might go with 20. I want the purple to stand out a little bit more. And I'll show you what I'd like to do. So we're going to roll our mesh. Uh-oh, getting some error messages again. Don't know why that's happening. Okay, so it looks like YouTube is telling me it's not receiving a lot of data while it's streaming. But looking at my streaming software, it looks like everything's going well. So I don't know why we keep having that same issue. So hopefully it'll be okay. If it disconnects us, I'm going to continue recording and then upload the video so you can see the tutorial on this and be able to see that finished product. So we're just going to curl the mesh in the same direction that it wants to curl. Hopefully I'll get to do a full bundle before it disconnects us, if it's going to do that. Okay, so we're going to have our bigger curl with the 21" mesh. I don't know where my clip went, so we're going to hold this down like so. And we're going to have our 10" one. And then our tubing, let's see how far did I go, I think 17. So probably on the next one I'll go about 20. I think that'll be better. So all I do with these, we just kind of have it overlap and then join it in the middle, and that gives you a little bow. So then that'll go on top of the gold. So we're going to fold our 21" one to kind of get it a little bit smaller. And this is the part that we would need to put onto our mesh assay bundle. So there's our middle. Oops, where'd it go? And all I'm doing is cutting this in half. So if you ever have like a 21" roll of mesh and you just can't figure out what to do with it, and you don't want to do the poof method on a wreath or swag or what have you, this is basically what another option for that. Okay, I'm gonna grab some stems. to hold our bundle together. And on this one, we only need half of one. And all we're gonna do is just pull at our chenille stem pipe cleaner. Kind of hold and pull while you're holding your mesh in the opposite direction, and then just twist. And that gives us our bundle with our tubing in green. We have our gold and we have our purple. And then this we could actually use, just have to cut it a little bit smaller. It's something else we can use as a replacement for our, excuse me, our floral pins. We just make it a little bit shorter and we can use that to put it onto the styrofoam. So that's going to be our bundles. Now I wish I would have cut everything ahead of time, but stayed at work a little bit later today and kind of run behind schedule. I apologize for that. Lack of planning. Okay, so here we go. Since we already have another purple, just gonna put everything together, but we need to cut some of our tubing. I think, let's see, that was 17. So I'm gonna go with 18. Just a little smidget. And on these, don't pull. Just kind of let them go as they go. Because when you pull, they kind of get all out of shape. I'm just going to cut a few at a time. And this came in a big, it was in a bag. And I just rolled what I had left on these. I saved the bigger ones to kind of use it for that purpose. So that way the tubing won't go all over the place. Well, look at there. Lucky me. Perfect. So how are we doing? Please let me know if any questions, concerns via comment. I don't know that you're out there or that you're watching on this. There's comments on there. I mean, I can see numbers, but if you have anything to share or any questions, I will know unless you put a comment on there. Try to just a little bit smaller. Okay, and I'm just putting it in between my middle and ring, an index finger, just to kind of hold it. You could also put something heavy on it like I did earlier. And I'll go ahead and do that again just in case you're just joining us. You can use the Bodabra also to hold things together. It's basically like having an extra set of hands. Okay, and again on this, we just overlap the edges like so. So you can see that, okay? All I'm doing is grabbing both, making sure they cross over, just overlap. Grab it right there in the middle and just move the other side towards it, and now you have a little, well, kind of like an infinity symbol. Put that in the middle, and then use some stems, half of a stem. I'm gonna wrap that around right in the middle. You can do it just like I did the other. I'm gonna scrunch it a little bit. Put this right there in the middle where the little tubing is at, where they meet. Cross over, and we're gonna pull in opposite directions, mesh in one side and our stems to the other while we twist. So it'll be nice and tight. Do about 3 twists or so. And you can cut as you go since we're going to be putting it in the styrofoam. If I was attaching that to a small wreath form, then I would leave it as is, and then you could wrap it around the middle. The middle. Go ahead and turn this off for now. So I'm not using it. Doesn't take long. Okay, so I'm going to 20 inches. Now, if you'd like, instead of cutting after you make the curl, you can definitely cut in the middle before or after. Your choice. Doesn't have to be 100% exact. And we're just gonna curl our other mesh so we can add our other color in. This one's a little bit heavier. I like that one better. Okay. And back to our tubing, just making sure we overlap, cross it over, go to that center so that they'll all meet. And that will go right in the center as well of your others. You can judge it by eye. Again, doesn't have to be exact. Just crunching it so it'll make it easier to add my stem. And again, we're going to go in opposite directions. Pull, pull. And as we pull, we're going to be twisting. So it'll be nice and tight. And it'll stay together. And cut any excess if you need to. That way it'll be ready for putting it on our styrofoam. I think we'll need a couple more. So I'm going to cut about 3 of these just to and these are being cut at 10 inches. try and make this one a little bit tighter. So lots of stuff going on this weekend. I know we have, for the football lovers out there, we know we have Super Bowl coming up. But it's the Rams versus the Bengals. Sorry, I'm not much of a football person. But I did like looking that up so I can make that wreath we made last week. So we can have both teams in one wreath. Like a house divided thing. And then we also have Valentine's coming up Monday. Hope you're ready for that. Then comes Mardi Gras and St. Patrick's Day. So lots of stuff. All of that, well, spring will be upon us. Not long after that. Time just flies. I can't believe we're already almost middle of February. Yep, let me cut the excess. I don't think we're gonna need. I think this might be our last cut of the purple. Or our last cut period. I don't think we'll need any more gold either. We'll see. Here we go with our curl. And another thing you could do with these is what I call the poof and curl method. I've done that a few times with some other wreaths. I think I used it a lot more on the Halloween ones because it almost looks like it's so warm, you know, if you kind of do a little yeah. So I did that. So if you want to check those out and learn about that method, just helps to have a variety of different ways to play with the mesh. And if you're just joining us, we are working on sprucing up a Mardi Gras stand to like a centerpiece, but it stands a little bit tall. And what I'm doing is kind of adding a little more oomph to it by expanding the base. So it'll help it so it won't go so topsy-turvy. And at the same time, it adds a little bit more oomph, as I like to say. To our item. And I'll bring it into focus here in a bit because we'll start putting things on the styrofoam. And this is just to give an idea. Probably would be good to have some more curls in the different colors to go on the outer edge of the styrofoam. But my thought is I'm trying to use some remnants in case you haven't noticed. I like making sure we come up with projects to use what we already have or pieces of what we have so nothing goes to waste. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying not to use too much new unless I know I already have plans for it. So okay, there's our purple. On my screen, it almost looks like it's blue, but I promise it's purple. I hope it comes out right on your screen. And all of that varies depending on that whole RGA and whatever it's called, depending on our systems. So hopefully, I've tried adjusting it a couple of times and it seems to stay put and show the right color for a time, and then something else happens and it goes back to showing a different color for some reason. And guess what, in doing this one, I just thought of, I didn't cut any of the ribbon, which could be part of the bundle, so we'll see how it goes. We might do the ribbon on that other edge if we need it. But the idea was to also have some ribbon on here to make it more full. But hopefully you'll still get the idea of what we're trying to do. And it gives you a good idea for some other projects that you may have, some items around the house that you may have had for a while and just can't figure out what else to do with it to make it usable or make it look a little bit different. That is the goal, just to kind of give you some ideas. So if it does give you an idea for a project or anything, you know, to kind of spruce up something else, please let us know via comment, give us thumbs up, and let us know. Share the picture. Let's see, some of this glue might still come out. Yay! So I'm going to put a generous amount of the glue on here because I wanted to catch that screw that's in the middle of our stand here. And I'm sure these have a special name, but don't ask me, my Spanglish gets in the way. So I'm gonna put some on that screw right there because it doesn't reach the styrofoam, and I want to make sure that it'll stay put on here, so it won't go so topsy-turvy like it has been on its own. Like right now, having it on here the way I have it is not as topsy-turvy as it is on its own. So we'll see. And I'm going to put some glue just on the edge, since it'll be covered by our mesh, but just to kind of give it a little bit more support. Okay, I think we have enough. Let's see, still have more on that original side. I'm kind of going right over, you can kind of see that, right on the edge of it, letting some of it fall to the side, but also grab the edge that it has on its own as the base. Spider webs. Okay. So now all we're going to be doing is adding these pieces around here. We're just gonna stick them in. Okay, and again, I'm just going, let's see me move it over some. We're just gonna go right on to the styrofoam. And forcing that on there. Same thing, just gonna push on in, make sure it's nice and straight and that you're holding it up here so that it'll be able to give you some manageability. Got some of those spider webs. I call them spider webs when you have that little string from the glue that just kind of lingers, and we can clean that up here. Spider web. I know you probably can't see that from the screen, but I can see it and it's bothering me. Okay, so again, we're gonna hold our bundle, making sure our stem is nice and straight. Let's see if I can, let's see, would you be able to see it this way better? Okay, there we go. So all I'm doing is just kind of holding this out of the way for a little bit and then making sure I go right next to it and just pushing down. Okay, again, nice and straight. And this is the part where I said we could use some floral wire if you have a little bit thicker. The one that I have is it's not so thick. And I couldn't find my floral staples, my floral pins, which basically look like staples, just larger. So I thought, okay, we'll just change our plan here. Okay, one more. And it doesn't look like we necessarily need the ribbons, maybe for covering the side. You could definitely see, probably used another. Going straight down with it. And just let the mesh fall where it wants to fall. So we could probably put one more on here. So I'm gonna cut another piece. So I can do another bundle and we'll cover that. And we might be able to stick to, let's see. Just don't want it to fall. I hope you can see how it's coming together. And what we can do on that side part, since we're not going to have any smaller mesh, if we had those smaller mesh from like the dollar store, for example, we can use those to do smaller bundles to put on that bottom part that's on the side. With these being bigger mesh, it might just take over a little too much to where your centerpiece will still go topsy-turvy, because then that bottom is being bothered or disturbed by the side of, you know, with that mesh. But if we use smaller mesh, like the ones from the dollar store, that could work. And I didn't want to go, I guess we could have gone a little bit further out to the edge and it would have covered that, but we can still move that around if we want to. Go to 20, 10 and 20. Make it easier on myself. Why not, right? For the cutting. Okay, these are cut at 10 inches. The 21-inch one is cut at 20, not 21. Scooch it up a little bit. Should have kept cutting. Okay. Just keep thinking about the space on the table. We didn't want to not have room for everything that I was cutting. Okay, and again, I'm just holding the stem, pulling mesh and stem away from each other as I give it a twist. And then give it a couple more of the twists just to make sure it's nice and tight. And then cut off any excess that you're not going to need. Excuse me. Roll it so I can try to get it a little bit tighter. Doesn't have to be by much. And I think I might move those bundles out a little bit more. I keep looking at it and then we don't see any of that gold base that it already have. And I didn't want to necessarily hide that. I just wanted to make sure I covered the styrofoam. So we'll move those out to the edge a little bit. Okay, just pulling apart and twisting. And cutting off any excess. Alrighty, so let's bring this back out to focus. And I'm going to, since we didn't glue them, which is a wonderful thing to do once you know you have everything where you want it. I didn't set up the skillet, so I would have to be doing that glue gun for every little piece. So I'm going to move it out a little bit so it'll help us with the edge, but still let us see some of that gold base that it already had. So that's all I'm doing. I'm not doing much different. Oops, I didn't have it straight. Let's see. Hopefully you can see from the top screen. All I'm doing, let's see. I don't know if you can see the little hole. I'm just kind of moving it over a little bit more towards the edge. Grabbing the next bundle. Oh, looks like that one got a little bit of the glue, so it was kind of stuck in there. I'm going to turn this one around. There we go. can have room for a new too. Okay, and last one. And there we go. So this is how it looks. And you have your stand. And that's the, you can kind of see some of the white if you look at it from the top. So we could even add a little bit more. Or like as I mentioned with the smaller mesh, we could even add probably the smaller mesh or even some of the ribbon on the other side, inner and outer. And then if you want to cover even more on the side here, we can add some of the smaller mesh from the dollar store, make smaller bundles. Another quicker, easier way to cover this would be to either do a ribbon, do like a 1-inch ribbon or ½ an inch ribbon, and then glue it on here all the way around. That matches the theme. Another thing you can do is just put some like a what is it called? I can't think of it. Kind of like decoupaging, Mod Podge. Thank you. I don't know why I missed that. So we can use some Mod Podge and then just use some glitter of the different colors and go all the way around, so it'll still cover that for you. Just some options there if you're concerned about the side. It looks like somewhere I need to move back. Where is that? Okay. Let's move these. Looks like I just need another one in there. Doesn't need to move back. I have a big hole. Let's cut some more. Do I have more? We can psych it out and do a out of that green one. Let's see. Maybe since there's not that much space, we can move this around a little bit. Let's see. Just take some playing around. Oh, I see what it is. This one came out. It was just kind of loose on there. Let's see. Since we're not gluing it, they're coming out. Which you would normally glue these. Just for sake of time, since I didn't do my skillet. There we go. So that is our project. So now it doesn't go, I mean, you would have to like really shake it up for it to go topsy-turvy, but it doesn't go topsy-turvy on its own anymore. So, mission accomplished. Kind of give it another pass there so you can kind of see it. It doesn't all come into focus. There we go. So we just basically added more to our base so it'll stop going topsy-turvy, and then gave it more, you know, by giving it more width on the bottom all the way around. And now we can have a nice centerpiece. Could still go on a table to dress it up. You could put it as, you know, if you do 2 of them, have one on each side. If you have like pillars or different things that you want to put something on, that will work nice. Give me some ideas there. Let me see if I can change the view again so you can maybe see it from a different angle. Ooh, don't know if you'll be able to see it. There we go. There we go. So it kind of goes all the way around. And we have all the colors. So, hope you liked that tutorial. Please give thumbs up. Again, subscribe. Click on that bell. Share the link with your friends and family throughout social media. Ask them to join and maybe come be with us on Fridays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and ask them to share the link as well. It'll help with the growth of our channel. And I appreciate it, and thank you ahead of time for showing some love by doing those things. And hopefully you'll join us again next week. And until then, keep creating, stay safe, and stay liquid. Bye-bye.